Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have a brand new episode in our card spotlight series in which I look at a card that I feel is underplayed or underappreciated in Commander and discuss its merits. But before we do that, just a quick reminder to please click subscribe if you enjoy these videos. It's the only way the YouTube algorithm really notices me, and we're currently growing the channel and it helps me a lot. Much appreciated.
And today we're going to be talking about Bolt Bend. Now Bolt Bend for 3 colorless and 1 red is an instant that reads, this spell costs 3 less to cast if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, and change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. Very clean, very little text, but super effective at what it's doing. So I really like this in a lot of decks because it's a great way to protect your commander or your crucial creatures from targeted removal in a similar way to Deflecting Swat. Deflecting Swat is super expensive and is obviously better than this because you can play it for free if you have your commander, but if your commander is something with 4 power and you have it out, then this is also just going to cost you 1 red mana, which is close enough to Deflecting Swat that I think this should see a lot more play than in just 3% of decks. There's a lot of targeted removal that can hit your creatures in a game of Commander, and I often see people's lists that have a lot of big creatures in them not running this card. It's essentially a red counterspell for targeted removal, and it's probably the best version of this effect after Deflecting Swat if you can guarantee you have the 4 power creature. There are some decks that can have real trouble if their commander is removed, and if you're playing red-black and to a lesser extent any color combination that doesn't include blue, you might have trouble protecting your creatures. So a commander that this is obviously really good in is with Anti-Blight, Bad Influence. She's gonna get really big, she's gonna get a bunch of counters on her, and you absolutely do not want her to get removed, or you've taken a bunch of damage for no reason and you'll have to start all over again. This is totally gonna solve that problem because she's almost guaranteed to have 4 power, at which point this becomes a 1 mana counterspell for removal, which is very solid. But not only is a 1 mana counterspell for removal, it is then turning that removal onto one of your opponent's creatures too. But not only that, Bolt Bend can be a really good one against Voltron decks. If you play this against somebody that's going to attach an aura onto their creature, suddenly that aura can become attached to one of your creatures, which is a massive swing sometimes. I saw a game once where somebody tapped out for Eldrazi Conscription and the other player only had 1 red mana open, so they figured they were safe, but then they Bolt Bended it onto their own creature, and that was absolutely backbreaking for the Voltron player. So there are these kind of sneaky shenanigans you can do with this for only 1 mana. It also works really well with targeted card draw effect. Sometimes people pay a lot of mana to play a target player draws X card spell, and then if you can change the target of that to you, you can actually get a huge advantage again for just 1 mana. So this card has a lot of flexible uses that can definitely come in handy, and for just 1 mana, if you have a 4 power creature, it's an absolute steal. And if you don't happen to have a 4 power creature, it's still not the worst thing in the world at 4 mana, although obviously leaving that much mana up is a little bit awkward. In any case, I feel that this should see a lot more play than the 3% of decks that it is in. Definitely give this a try.
So there you have it, that has been our card spotlight for today. What are your thoughts on this card? Let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too, and if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care.